Hey, what's up guys, welcome to my review of Batman Gotham by Gaslight. So Gotham by Gaslight is the newest DC animated movie of 2018 and the first animated adaptation of the Elseworlds comic. So from the day that this movie was announced, there was a lot riding on this film, mostly because DC's animated track record isn't all that solid. It's really either a hit or a miss. There are really few movies that really fall between a hit or a miss. But Gotham by Gaslight is sure to please fans. You know, January really isn't known for the most amazing movies, but Gotham by Gaslight isn't just some half-baked stereotypical January movie. This is actually some quality film and storytelling right here, so let's jump into my review. So I have not read the original Elseworlds comic, so I really had no idea what to expect from this film. I had a general concept down, you know, of Batman meets Jack the Ripper in this Victorian era kind of setting, but that's pretty much all I knew about it. I'm actually grateful that I didn't read the comic, because there's a lot of stuff in here that people who haven't read the comics are really going to be surprised by, and I think it's best to go into this movie without any prior knowledge. I'm just saying this based off of my experience. I don't know how accurately this movie compares to the actual comic. It could be a complete direct adaptation, or it could be mostly direct with some changes, like Killing Joke maybe. I don't know. I'm definitely going to go back and read the Elseworlds comic after I've watched this film. But for those of you who haven't seen it, I really strongly recommend you don't read the comic before watching this. And for those of us who may have already read the comics way back before this movie came out, this might be a nice little touch to fine-tune the comic with an animated adaptation. But overall, I was really amazed by this film, more than I thought that I would be. Personally, I'm a big fan of this whole Victorian era kind of setting, and that mixed with the whole concept of Batman just really intriguing to me. And when you mix these two really oddball concepts together, it can be extremely risky, but in this case, it worked really well, and it was really rewarding for the character. So with that said, you know, there's a lot of characters here whose roles have been switched up just a little bit compared to their standard comic book counterparts, mostly for consistency's sake, so they flow better with the overall setting and story. I was really amazed by those characters. You know, some of those characters that they showed were some of my favorites. Even though they didn't have that much screen time, you could really tell, like, after you figure out what their name was, or just by the way that they acted, you could tell, like, this is this character from that comic. And I thought that was super cool. The movie also brought this original style to the characters, but it still maintained the overall structure of what made those characters great. It'll make a bit more sense when you actually see the film. You'll know more what I'm talking about after you've seen the film. But additionally, the writing was much more enjoyable compared to previous DC animated films. Now, some lines didn't quite hit with me, but most of the dialogue and scenes felt pretty natural, especially in this whole Victorian era kind of setting. The voice acting was good. It didn't blow me away apart from some certain scenes, but it was pretty easy to digest. And that applies for pretty much every character, especially Batman. You know, I thought Bruce Greenwood was good, but he didn't blow me away. His performance wasn't legendary compared to, say, Kevin Conroy or Roger Craig Smith. Personally, I think his performance in Under the Red Hood was a lot more memorable than it was here. Additionally, the animation was beautiful. I would definitely go back and just watch this movie simply for the animation. Some people may not be a fan of it. Some people may absolutely love it. I'm one of those people who loves it. It's a little bit different, but at the same time, it's good. You know, it's definitely easy to watch, and it's a lot of fun to follow, and it's just good animation. This movie is rated R, but it's not one of those movies that they just slap their R rating on. This R rating actually works for this film. Mostly in the fight scenes, because the fight scenes have this additional layer of intensity and brutality that I just love. You know, all the punches and kicks and all the fight scenes, it just felt so much more raw, especially with a character like Batman, and I think that's something that a lot of fans are really gonna enjoy. The one flaw that DC animated movies really suffer from is pacing. They seem to jump around a bit more than they needed to, and it can get distracting. Fortunately, Gotham by Gaslight is extremely well paced, and I never really felt like the jumps were too extreme, and I was able to really follow the film easily. I think the best part for me in this movie would definitely be the overall storytelling. You know, with a setting like this, it really pushes the detective aspect of Batman forward, because you don't have the most advanced technology here, but Batman seems to make it work because Batman's set of technology is much more advanced than it was for its time, and he uses that to his advantage to help him with his detective skills and crime fighting and whatnot. Even with that said, even though it's still Batman felt much more human this time around. You know, he has all these gadgets and he has all this advanced tech, but he still struggled to fight in certain scenes, and I think it just really made the character for me. It made Batman a character who's not all that much relatable, and I think that's really gonna please a lot of fans. Overall, Batman Gotham by Gaslight is an incredible film with top-notch storytelling and animation and digestible pacing, with some minor flaws if you really want to nitpick. Overall, I give Batman Gotham by Gaslight a 9 out of 10. I'm definitely going to go back and read the comic just to see how accurately this compares to that, and to see, you know, maybe every little detail, like, did they change this? Was this in the comic that wasn't in the movie, or was this in the movie that wasn't in the comic? I definitely recommend you guys go do that too after you've seen this movie, just to do something fun if you really enjoyed the movie. But really, let me know what you guys think. Have you seen this movie? What do you think about it? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Do you still have like mixed feelings? So let me know in the comments down below. And if you like this review, then smack the like button, as always appreciated. And if you want to see more reviews like this, and you want to see more superhero content, then hit subscribe to see more. I'll see you guys next time.